You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Count on the rings. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City.
I'm downstairs. You mean? Girl, I told you I'd be ready. You always got excuses and you know I be on top of things. Punctual my proper name. On the dot is not your aim. Although we in love, we are not the same. I hit you on that celly. You said you needed 5, that was more than 12 ago. Claim you got your hands tied, time stuck like Velcro. Georgia peach on east side like it's ATL. You lacking, you tripping, you slacking, impatient, be waiting, confused like what happened. You get attitude cause I'm getting mad, cause you wanna take 20 minutes and a half. And on top of that, I gotta get gas out of the freeway, picked up traffic. What the is you doing? We gotta dip. Cardi, yeah. Watch it tick, tick. Waiting for that last minute for your hell. Now stop playing games, go and bring your downstairs. Come on, let's go. Come on, girl, let's go. Girl, you know that time that you wasting, like time that you wasting, like time that you wasting on my time. Come on, girl, let's go. Come on, girl, let's go. Girl, you know that time that you wasting, like time that you wasting, like time that you wasting on my time. Took me 20 to get ready, yo. Shower moisturizer and the fit I had on yesterday. Uniform necessities, multiples of everything. Now your neighbor wanna come and speak to me like,
hey, how you doing? I ain't too bad.
ha. Hit her with a few fake laughs. She talking my ear off. It's sympathy I lack. I care about one thing. What up? Anyway, gotta pay a little more. If we late to the jet, gotta jet cause the boat leave at 8. And we got some fur on the upper deck in the orchestra. Don't play it. Score for every Ablo project. You ain't scared to change cause it's in coming out your pockets. My fruity and slip. I'm rude a little bit. Don't be acting so appalled. All y'all girl, let it put so much into tonight. And you just don't care. Now stop playing games. Gun, bring your downstairs. Come on, let's go. Come on, girl, let's go.
One of the loudest venues in the NFL. There's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. On the jet sweep, this is Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The Steelers send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. That'll go as a punt of 32. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Steelers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. He's got Perriman. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, here's Willis. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Willis from the gun on third down. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blower out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, 21.6 miles per hour. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Second down, here's Willis. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick, and the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that Diaz had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Butker now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. Harris running straight ahead. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game. Willis throws another interception, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. From the gun, it's Clement. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Here's Clement. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Butker is on target. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And the defense closes quickly there, and they'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to small up the ball carrier.
The Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs will take over possession here up at the 44.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast, the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Clement. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. On first down, they go with Clement again. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On second and goal, Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Butker is on target, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled into 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
On third down, it's Willis. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And they will take over first and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow, and I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On second down, Clement, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing is Mahomes on third. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Returnable for Grant. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. Butker on for the PAT. Oh, this is blocked. And the Steelers get it. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. That is a play that you just do not see very often. Maybe a couple times a year, the blocked extra point return for 2.
You can't afford to give anyone a free run at the kicker. Oftentimes, he's going to bounce off his hands or chest and head the other direction.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done.
Oh, what a juke into space. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here we go, here we go. Drop 50, drop 50.
Now Willis on 1st and 10. And now here is another interception. Monte Nicholson picks it. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
Let's go now.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. It's brought in by Harris. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Okay, ready?
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Mahomes now on first down. He's got him in, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. And incompletion as a result.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. Touchdown! Sky Moore from 19 yards away. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they've built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Ready?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Harris starts the drive on the ground. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Willis's throw complete to Freiermuth. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run again with Harris. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 65 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
On the give, this is Harris. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Second down, Willis looks to throw here. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the draw, it's Harris. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Second down throw coming by Willis. And my goodness, another interception. Monte Nicholson picks it. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This is Harris on the draw. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
The second down throw by Willis. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
You get the sense that they're saying, we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Play action, Willis. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Here's Hardman to return. "13 yards the tally on the return there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win every pick.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season?
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Kick the Eagle! Kick the Eagle!
They'll run again with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here, but it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them, not one they'll want to remember, but at least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave this stadium.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. Oh, they're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this... And now here is another interception. It's Joshua Williams with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
51 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from blocking.
And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. The CD, that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit, give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been happy with what they've seen so far, have they?
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Mahomes throw into the hands here of Hardman. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. A tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. The 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Now they set up the screen for Clement. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there. You don't deserve anything for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sheldon Rankins picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
Anthony Simon.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. No question that one stings a little extra because he had that first down. It would have been a fourth down conversion.
Love the effort. Love the maneuverability. Don't like the fact that he didn't bring the ball with him. And now it's going to go in the other direction.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Catch is made by Hardman. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. Mahomes going to throw it here. Locates Hardman for another catch. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. On first down, Mahomes. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second in this contest, I guess that was taken literally because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
Not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
Yeah, you got to wait until that ball goes 10 yards. They did not. They hit it before, and that draws the flag every time.
And there's no doubt in my mind that converting an onside kick has never been tougher in the NFL with the new rules. So trying to get it to 10 yards, timing up perfectly, that's tough enough to begin with. But when you go ahead and grab it before it goes, you've got no shot then.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. We go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Chiefs, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys.